When I started here, the backup routine was quite simple. Very simple, in fact. We just had one external drive and we plonked that on top of the server and that was it. It was connected, luckily, and it backed up once a day. So that's what we did. But when I got here, with my experience of working in the military, I thought, well, we can improve this. And so what we did was we went for a second external drive, and we called them Tornado and Typhoon, because if you put serial numbers on them, it doesn't work. So call them after your pet dog or your pet hamster or whatever. For me, my two favourite aircraft, Tornado, Typhoon, and we know which one's in operation and which one is in store. We then took the external drive that wasn't being used as a backup. We would take that and we would store that off base. So that would be stored in a facility that was secure and safe and had 24/7 access. So for two reasons. One, if we ever need to get to it, we can. And secondly, it's got 24/7 manning, which means that if there's going to be fire, flood, damage, explosion, then it's in the best possible place for it to be preserved, you could argue. The second thing we did was we improved the resilience of the server itself by adding a second disk drive so they mirrored each other. They would flip-flop if one of the hard drives failed. And then, as I say, we then moved to the cloud computing option, which is the simplest of all. It's almost invisible. Almost invisible. Well, it is invisible in as much as we can't see it happening, but we know it does happen. Although you could be the only person working here on any one day, the other 4 people could easily be operating by remote access into our server and through all the making changes to the software, making changes to the CRM database, making changes to the website. And so it's not just a simple case of, oh, I'm the only person working here and all I've done is some penciled notes. I haven't even turned my computer on, so there's nothing to back up. It's not as simple as that, because there could be, you know, another 8-10 hours, or multiply that by 4 people. So you could lose up to 32 hours worth of change, alteration or amendment, and just boom, like that. And so that for me was a concern that we may be straying into that sort of vulnerability. And so for me it was address the vulnerability, find a solution, an affordable solution, and put it in place. Now that we've got that level of security in place, I'm much more relaxed about the safety of our data. Not just for us, but also for our member companies, of which there are some 250, and that's growing all the time. And also it means that we can offer greater services, a greater level of service to our companies. Is that simply the case because we've got our backup sorted that we can offer that? No, it's because it's one thing less that you have to think about. Because what we have done is we've future-proofed it to such an extent that although there's 5 of us in this small business, we're looking to grow, and we're looking to grow to maybe 20, 25 strong organisation. So we need to be able to manage 25 times data amendment, data storage, inputting, outputting and what have you. And I'm confident that what we have in place will do that. So how do I feel about it all now? Relaxed, confident, but certainly not complacent. My advice to other small businesses is about backing up data is to do it, but also to look into the options. It's something that you can't ignore. It's something that, as we found, you may well be needing to do for legislative reason, or to protect the fact that you are adhering to legislation. And for us, and I'm sure other businesses, you will be storing data that is sensitive. You'll be storing data that is valuable. And you'll be storing data that is sensitive and valuable. And so you need to give the confidence to not just your workforce, but in particular your customers, that you're taking their commitment to invest their data with you seriously. And the only way that you can do that is to, I would say, is to either have the knowledge and make the decision and address the issues and have some form of adequate, secure, safe, robust, resilient data storage capability, so you've got a confidence measure that you can rely upon. If you haven't got that knowledge, then seek that knowledge, and you'd be surprised how reasonable it can be. You'd be surprised what the value for money tick, if you like, is of getting this done. It surprised me, and I've been in the business now as a strategic IT planner for some 10 years or so, and it surprised me how reasonable it was and how quick it was and how easy it was to get this level of protection quickly in place and working. So don't ignore it would be my message. Do something about it.